Hello and welcome to another episode of He Says, She Says Film Reviews. I'm Dave G.
And I'm Lee G.
And today we're going bigger and better with Fast and Furious 9. Yes, the little franchise that started way back in the year 2000 is now celebrating its ninth entry. And we just heard this week from the man himself, Vin Diesel, that F10 will be the final Fast and Furious movie. It'll be a two-parter, like how they ended Harry Potter, but he has said that F10 will be the final one. So I guess you could say it'll be F10, F11, or even though they're going to call it F10 Part 1 and Part 2. But for now, we have F9 in the cinemas. And once again, Vin Diesel returns as Dom Toretto. And now he and Letty, his girlfriend, Michelle Rodriguez, are living with Dom's son in the middle of nowhere in a little country area, and they are all happy to finally not be going out on adventures. But then, of course, all of a sudden, Tej, played by Ludacris, Roman, played by Tyrese Gibson, and Ramsey, played by Natalia Emmanuel, turn up and they're being called to an adventure. They've received a mysterious kind of interception message from Mr. Nobody, who is calling for the team to get back together and to go and help because his cargo has been stolen. That cargo being Cypher, played by Charlize Theron. And I'm not giving anything away here because it's automatically in the trailer. Part of Cypher's new team is Dom's brother, played by John Cena. Which makes it a little bit of a family affair. And we do see that through the film because we actually finally get to see some flashbacks of Dom's life before the events of the original Fast and Furious film. So I know you're probably not as big a Fast and Furious fan as what I am, but what did you think of F9?
I really liked this movie. I think that you've got to go in there knowing it's action, action, action. You're going to see scenes where they're amazing. You see, cars or trucks blowing up as usual. You see the racing side of things. You see, the baddies versus the goodies. You see all those sorts of things. The dedication to family, as always, but also some backstories and whether there will be revenge or forgiveness and how that will work out either way. So if you're looking just for car racing, then that's not what you get here. You get a full, action movie with all sorts of, amazingly action scenes that some are believable and others just aren't. But that's part of the fun of it, is how visually it looks with things blowing up. Yeah, so I think if you're a true, racing fan, that's not what you're going to get out of this movie.
Yeah.
You have to be an action fan.
And I love that they make fun of that this time around. Like, Roman keeps on saying to people, are we no longer just the car guys? Are we superheroes now? And it's what the audience have been asking for a long time. In fact, recently, there was a poll taken in America where people were saying, should Dominic Toretto be now mentioned alongside people like Captain America, Batman? Because if you think about it, he almost is like Batman. Batman doesn't have any superpowers. He just builds these amazing machines and that helps him fight justice. And it's like Dom's doing the same thing these days. So,
and they never die, even though, there's no way in real life they would survive these things.
Yeah, although some of them have died along the way. Gael Gardeau's character died. And of course, another big twist here. I'm not actually going to say it because I know that there's a trailer floating around where it shows it, but there's other trailers that don't. One of the characters that we believe dead before comes back in this film, and I thought that was handled really, really well. And I think that's what I like about this franchise, is it never gets tired. The people working on these films in the screenwriting department and the directors, and this time it's Justin Lin, who of course has directed previous Fast and Furious films, they always find creative ways to do things, but they also find not only the time to work on action sequences that have never been done before, they always find stuff to bring the characterization along as well. These characters have grown over the years, and I love the flashbacks here, getting to see that time when Dom's life changed forever because of an event that happened in his life. I thought that was absolutely fantastic, and even though we've never had a mention of Dom's brother in previous films, it worked because this film kind of showed why he and Mia, played by Jordana Brewster, would never have talked about him. There's a belief in there that he's done something that they don't talk about, and I believe that. Like, there's sometimes in these movies when suddenly a character turns up like that, you're like, that's not believable, but it's truly believable, especially when you go back and watch the first film and realize some of the lines that Dom says to Paul Walker's character, when he says something about you're what a brother should be, like, rather than he didn't say you're the brother that I've never had. He said you're what a brother should be, and I think that is kind of telling for what we know now as well. So did you like that? Did you like the fact that all of the characters in this felt like they've grown to it wasn't just all about the action?
Yeah, there's definitely, as I said, that family storyline in it that I liked. And yeah, I think action's great, but you do want to see some more depth in the characters, and in this you do get that. Yeah, so I'm not sure if all Fast and Furious fans will like how it's adapted into this space. As I mentioned earlier, I know people that really just want to see it for the car racing type storylines. However, I personally more enjoy this type of movie because it has some depth into backgrounds of families and individuals.
Yeah. The only bit about this that I was kind of not sure if I liked that was their excuse for Paul Walker not being around this time in his character. I thought it was pretty loose that the thing was where Mia says, he stayed at home to look after the kids while I came on this mission. And it's like, there is no way that he would ever have done that as a character. And it almost feels like it's to the point where it's disrespecting that character's legacy. Like, it's, I don't know, I love this franchise to bits, and I loved Paul Walker in the franchise, and it just felt like that was just an excuse that you would never believe in a million years, that Brian would send Mia into battle while he stays at home and looks after the kids. And I was talking about this with a couple of friends who are huge fans, and we almost said that it feels like it's almost time that they killed Brian off as a character. And because it's just becoming a little bit ridiculous how they explain that he's no longer there. And I know it's a big thing for the cast. They all loved Paul Walker, and he was a brother to Vin Diesel in real life as well. But yeah, it just feels a little bit disrespectful now to Brian's legacy that they're coming up with excuses like he stayed home with the kids. It just, yeah, I don't know. I didn't find that bit believable.
I don't think it's believable, but I can completely understand why, as friends and cast member, they don't want to kill off that character. They're trying to honour their friend, who was a part of it from the start, and due to a very tragic accident in real life, they've lost their friend, but weren't ready to give up.
Yeah.
The character of Brian. So I'm not saying that it's a great storyline, but I think a lot of thought behind the scenes would have gone into how are they still honouring their colleague and friend. And yeah, I think it would be a very difficult decision for them to end that. So yeah, I can see that people's personal investment in their friendship would stop them from doing it. So I think, just watching on, you go with it and you try not to judge that too harshly, because you know that there's a valid reason behind there, and you can really respect that they're trying to honour their friend.
Maybe send Brian off on another mission and have like phone calls or something like that, because I'm not saying that they should have a CGI Paul Walker in there. I thought it worked well to get him out of the last film kind of thing, but at least have like phone calls or something like that so that you feel like Brian's doing something. I thought it was really touching how they do kind of have a Brian appearance later in the film. I thought that was well done, but I think they just need some better excuses for why Brian's not around, because for people that are on social media, you will have seen that there's now a Brian, a stay-home dad meme going around, so I think it's time to be a little bit more creative there. But look, I'm going to say I still absolutely loved this film. I thought that as a Fast and Furious fan, it had everything in it that I wanted. I love that they've brought some new characters in as well. I can't wait to see where that goes with John Cena's character. And of course, stick around after the credits for this movie as well, because another Fast and Furious favourite character makes a return in the end sequence, so make sure you stay for that after credits scene as well. And now I guess we start counting down the days to F10, because Vin Diesel says they are going into production pretty much straight away, so get ready for F10. But for this one, I am going to give this one a 4 out of 5. What are you giving F9?
Yeah, I'll give it 4 out of 5 as well. There was one scene or a couple of scenes that I just thought weren't believable, and it had to do with space. So when you see that, I was just like, no, it's just gone a bit far. But yeah, I think Charlize Theron's character, Cypher, wasn't in it as much as I expected. And for such an amazing actress, I thought I might have seen her a little bit more in the film. It's not a judgment either way, it's just something I thought I would see more of her in the film. But the performances were good for everyone involved here. So I think that's where I'll leave mine.
Definitely, and that's it for this episode of He Says, She Says Film Reviews. We both gave it 4 out of 5, so head along and check out F9. But that's it for this episode, and we'll be back very, very soon with another episode.